we'll try to those. We will try to respond to those in real time, and we do thank you for your participation in the meeting tonight. Let me just welcome you and thank you so much for being here and taking your time to join us. My name is Lisa Peacock, and I am the chairman. I'm very honored to be the chair of our Aging Together board. You're likely here today because you share the vision of Aging Together, and we thank you for that. This year, the theme of our meeting is all about partnerships. After all, as you know, that's what makes Aging Together work so well. It's hard to believe that we're now almost 2 years into the pandemic, and like many organizations, Aging Together has faced some challenges. But Aging Together has also had many triumphs and has remained committed to working with our partners in order to continue to meet the needs of the older adults that we have living in our communities. Today, we will hear about the impact of Aging Together with a focus on our many partners. And now we want to spend some time reflecting on this past year. And I just want to clarify for everybody, which is really just in my mind when I was looking at this, it's hard to believe, but we're really talking about July 1st of 2020. So that was, right within a few months of the beginning of the pandemic through June 30th of 2021, just a few months after the vaccine started rolling out. So it's been a very, very busy year, as everybody knows. We also want to draw your attention to the fact that this is also National Caregivers Month, November. We celebrate caregivers in our communities, and much of what we do at Aging Together is in support of caregivers. I myself, like many of you on the call, have been a caregiver at one time or another, or you're currently a caregiver. We'd like to give you a shout out and say thank you. And we know that there's lots of rewards that comes with being a caregiver, but there's also challenges that make some difficulty for you. But we applaud you and everything that you do and everything that you provide each and every day in what you do to help your family member. So what we would really like to do in focusing on partners is talk about how Aging Together is so grateful for our partners, the PATH Foundation for their continued generous support and collaboration. We're also grateful to the Culpeper Wellness Foundation, the Northern Piedmont Community Foundation, Rappahannock Rapidan Community Services, and our 5 county governments for helping us sustain the work of Aging Together. Aging Together continues to enjoy the office space that's provided by Culpeper Human Services, and in all honesty, I'm really happy just to have Ellen and her staff just like right down the hallway here, and we're getting to see each other more often in the office, so I really am happy about that. So just as a reminder, because I know everybody knows, but Aging Together covers Planning District 9, and that's the counties of Culpeper, Fauquier, Madison, Orange, and Rappahannock County. And there's a nice map right there on the screen that shows you the area that we cover, which is a rather large area. We are. I just want to make sure that everybody knows that we have a small but mighty staff. Ellen Phipps, who's our executive director, Jenny Biggs, who's a county resource specialist, Sue Davis, who's a volunteer driver, transportation coordinator. And I just want to give Sue a shout out because we're very grateful to Sue, who recently retired. And as you know, her dedication and commitment to Aging Together in the FAMS program was just awesome. She was a great asset to us, and we miss her so much. So we wish her all the success moving forward. And just thank Sue Davis when you see her. And last but not least, Carolyn Smeltz, our outreach director. So thank you all so much for all that you do for Aging Together every day. So our board of directors is made up of 12 members. And hopefully you've received a copy of the annual report PDF. as we will be presenting the highlights of that during the presentation. But if you just take a moment to take a look at who our board members are, and I believe we could also in the annual report, you can see which localities that they represent. So we do appreciate our board of directors and all the work that they do on behalf of Aging Together. Okay, so just as a reminder, Aging Together's mission is aging together through partnerships, connect people to community sources to improve the quality of life as we age. Ellen, are you flipping to the next? Thank you. So the vision of Aging Together is that we age-friendly communities that actively engage, value, and support older adults. And believe me, as the older I get, the more I appreciate that. A livable, age-friendly community is one that is safe and secure, has affordable and appropriate housing and transportation options, and offers supportive community features and services. So, so exactly what do we mean by age-friendly communities? Most people want to remain in their homes as long as they possibly can. Actually, I think research has shown that that gives the person the best outcome in terms of their overall health. When a community has adequate housing and transportation options, opportunities for social participation, employment opportunities, and is connected to information and resources and health services, then it becomes a livable community for people of all ages and a great place to age in place. Aging Together works to promote age-friendly communities where people can age in place successfully. Now I'm going to turn this over to Ellen, and she is going to talk about our 3-year strategic plan. Take it away, Ellen.
Hello, good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm so glad you're here. Well, the Aging Together strategic plan was informed by the community conversations, believe it or not, of 2018. And then the board of directors worked to develop the plan based on input from those community conversations. And not surprisingly, what we heard from all of you, I know you're not going to be surprised about this because the same themes have really kept coming up year after year, but we heard about the need for increased transportation options, increased access to food, affordable housing, caregiver support, and education, and support for families who are living with dementia. Around this time that we were doing the community conversations, the Path Foundation was also conducting a community needs assessment to discover similar findings. And so from there, the Senior Services Collaborative was formed, and a coalition of community stakeholders. So both the Board of Directors of Aging Together and the Senior Services Collaborative work to address these strategic goals. And these goals address the pillars involved in creating age-friendly communities that LIESA was just talking about. So our strategic plan goals for the years 2020 to 2023, goal number 1 is to support health, safety, and quality of life for older adults and their families. Goal number 2 is to promote the value that older adults bring to the community and to create opportunities for full engagement with all ages. Goal number 3 is to champion community response to the challenges facing older adults. And we've certainly seen a lot of challenges in the last 2 years. And goal number 4 is to assure sustainability of Aging Together as a valued community resource. So the need for aging services support comes from the growth and projected growth in the older adult population in the region. The Aging Together region is made up of 5 very individual counties. And we can just take a look at some of the population statistics here, the number of older adults. And we've also included the number of veterans in each county who are often underserved. So just looking at the chart here, looking at Culpeper, the 65 and over population is almost 8,000 people. In Fauquier, it's just over 11,000. In Madison, we're getting close to 3,000 older adults over the age of 65. In Orange, the number is just over 7,000. And in Rappahannock, it's just approaching 2,000. And I think the real takeaway from these numbers is really looking at the projected growth of into 2050. There are some different projections out there, but many of the projections are really looking at almost doubling by the year 2050, the number of older adults in our region. So I think that just helps to keep, for us to keep asking that question. Are we prepared to meet the needs and preferences of older adults as the population continues to grow of that demographic? So at the core of Aging Together, talk about partnerships, are our county teams. And the teams consist of volunteers who are medical, service, and assisted living professionals, nonprofit and agency leaders, first responders, faith-based leaders, senior citizens, and family caregivers, amongst others. And the teams, as most of you know, the teams meet monthly with a volunteer team chair and an Aging Together staff person. And they outline disparities in services and resources in their particular county, and then work to foster solutions. This model has served the region well because challenges are defined and worked out at a very local level. And that is why we value our teams so much. Aging Together staff member Ginny Biggs is the county team resource specialist, and she coordinates and organizes all of the team meetings. So I'm going to turn it over to Ginny now, and she's going to tell you about some of the team accomplishments. Again, remember, we're looking at July 2020 to June 2021, and she's going to highlight the collaborative nature of this model. Ginny?
Oops, I was on mute. I'm so sorry. Hello, everyone.
I have the saying, Jenny. Everybody has oops moments. Anyone that says they don't is either
That's
lying
right.
or woefully ignorant.
Thank you, but I'm glad to be here and we appreciate everybody being here. It's been, like Ellen and Lisa said, a very challenging almost 2 years. When I look back at July to June 30th of this year, crazy just times. It's been over almost 2 years since I've seen all of these folks in person. But we've had a lot of Zoom meetings every month. Our team meetings continue on Zoom, and we've kept the momentum going, and everyone is very active and doing their part and helping out as best they can. So I want to introduce you to everyone. Our first person is our CULPEPER chairperson, LIESA Dodson. And Lisa is, like I said, the CULPEPER team chair, and she's been instrumental in facilitating educational webinars for us in support of older adults in our region. She's organized online programs for Aging Together, including a veterans conference, a caregiver education series, and a triad educational series that's included scam and fraud information. And we have one coming up on the 18th. That'll be the last of that series. Lisa is the sales and marketing director at the Harbor at Renaissance. And she says that nothing brings me more joy than to spend time with seniors. They are insightful, full of wisdom, knowledgeable about a wide variety of subjects, and often not shy about sharing what they know. Seniors should be treasured, and I am blessed to be part of Aging Together. I hope the next slide I have is the next slide, Madison. Yes, there you go. In Madison, Peggy Hobbs was our chairperson for a couple of years, but she recently moved away, but still works as the marketing manager for Skyline CAP, which is the community action program in Madison. And during her the Madison team worked in collaboration with the Blue Ridge Area Food Bank, and we mailed out postcards with critical phone numbers during the pandemic to all Madison County residents. And Peggy says here, it's been such an unusual and challenging year, but Aging Together has found creative ways to keep the Madison team connected to everything that is happening. The work that is being done in support of our senior friends in the Madison community is of critical importance now more than ever. And I am grateful for our partnership with Aging Together. And so we're happy to say our new Madison chairperson is Pastor Dan Albrandt, who stepped in when Peggy moved away. And he is the pastor of the Madison and Rose Parks United Methodist Church. He lives in Madison County and is also a very active community member. And which really helps us out a lot, is he attends and runs a monthly pastors meeting where he gives out Aging Together updates and our resource books and distributes flyers to all of them so that they can pass it on to their parishioners. And he says he loves to volunteer because he wants to have community care for elders as well as younger folks. Communities only flourish when all people are included and valued. Next is our Fauquier team, and we have co-chairs there. Sophia Cameron is co-chair of the Fauquier team, and she partnered with Aging Together to provide the iPads for Seniors program to all of the residents at the villa at Southfield Meadows, where she is the community relations director. And Sophia says she is delighted to serve in her role as co-chair at the Fauquier County Aging Together team. The mission of Aging Together to connect the senior population with information and resources to maintain and advance their quality of life has proven to be more important and essential in today's times. Joining Aging Together as a community partner allows us to align our resources and efforts to highlight programs, events, and information to contribute to the overall health and vitality of our aging community. Mark Harvey is our co-chair of Fauquier County, and he and his wife Stacy are the owners and founders of First Light Home Care in Warrenton. Mark is also on the Voltran board, which is a big partner of Aging Together's, and Stacy is on the Piedmont Dementia Education Committee, which helps to support dementia awareness programs in our region. And the two of them also work very closely with the Senior Center in Fauquier and the Sheriff's Department to offer our triad educational programs. And Mark says, working as community partners with Aging Together helps us with our culture of care philosophy, supporting community residents with any challenges that come with life and allowing everyone to age in place and enjoy warmth, independence, and relaxed comfort in their home or any setting. In Orange County, Annette PUTMAN is the chair of our Orange team, and she has incorporated innovative solutions at Dogwood Village, where she works. And that has included the iPads for Seniors program and also the music and memory program that we're working in partnership with the George Mason University. And it's a very active Orange team. She sent us a quote by Rebecca Fox. It says, "To make a difference in someone's life, you don't have to be amazing, rich, talented, or beautiful. You just have to be you and care." Our Aging Together Orange team is the perfect example of this quote. Our group comes from many backgrounds and life experiences, but as a team, we join together to strive towards enriching the lives of our seniors. As the pandemic has continued, it has been difficult to meet in person. However, meetings have continued by Zoom calls and new faces have joined our group. And last but not least, certainly not least, is Sally Morgan, who's the founder of Aging Together, and she continues to support older adults in our region, and we're grateful to her leadership with the Rappahannock team. The RAP team has worked with partners to provide postcards also that we mailed out with critical phone numbers during the pandemic, and those were mailed out to all Rappahannock County residents. And she says that members of the Rappahannock Aging Together team, including Rap at Home, the Benevolent Fund, RRCS, and many others, are very active in planning and offering expanded services for older adults and their caregivers. Rap at Home's companion care program is a great example of a new service to support individuals who need in-home care. The team provides a platform where we can share information, discuss gaps, brainstorm solutions, and make plans for collaborative efforts like the distribution of Aging Together's resource guides and organizing training for family caregivers. And we just couldn't do it without all of our teams. We thank each and every one of our team chairs and all of our members of our teams for helping us out and supporting Aging Together. We couldn't do what we do without all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ginny. And thank you so much to each and every team member and all the team chairs, and really appreciate you so much. Well, we're going to talk for a minute about Aging Together's impact and growth. And here's some, just a few stats to sort of show how we have indeed reached more people in spite of the challenges that we've had. Unfortunately, we were not able to have the Art of Aging Expo at all, but we do hope to see this event return in 2022. We're really looking at ways to bring back the Expo safely. Just to give you an example here, the 5 over 50, we've now had 2 virtual 5 over 50s Facebook Live. And this last one in 2020-21 had actually 670 views on Facebook. Prior to that, there were 400 people that viewed us. So we definitely saw an increase in our 5 over 50. We had 648 attendees at our caregiver and educational programs, and that was also up from last year. And as I said, we did not have an expo, but we did produce the first ever regional resource guide. We had 5,000 copies printed and distributed, and they're in really such great demand, and we did in fact have to do another printing after that. So this was an attempt to reach rural, isolated older adults and provide some of that healthcare information that folks would normally get at the Art of Aging Expo. So continuing the impact, we had about 108 people connect us to us either via email or telephone for information. We've had 70 people receive their Dementia Friends training, and of course that moved to a virtual format, so it's a little bit lower. I think last year we had close to 100, I believe, but we definitely saw a little bit of a decline doing that program virtually. We do offer that quarterly though. 9,500 postcards were mailed. You heard a little bit about that from the teams. And 870 people learned about Aging Together at community presentations and health fairs. And 987 rides were provided through the Regional Transportation Collaborative, of which we are a part. And 922 people attended Aging Together's regional teams and partnership meetings. And that's a duplicated number. This photo is a little bit old. It's a few years old, but it's a great picture. I just love it. And it's a photo of the Aging Services Advisory Council at the Rappahannock-Rapidan Community Services. And our two agencies, we work really closely with our RCS, with volunteer Carol Simpson to promote legislation related to the quality of life for older adults in our region. So in addition to Aging Together being represented on this Aging Services Advisory Council, we've also collaborated with that shared position of Carol Simpson. And some of the advocacy work that we've been looking at has to do with nursing home staff regulations, which I know you're all aware, that was a problem that was exacerbated during the pandemic. And this work, the advocacy work, involves meeting with legislators and working with the state ombudsman. And it really does address one of those 4 core goals of Aging Together's strategic plan. And we're grateful for Carol and for all the folks that have helped on the advocacy team. I want to just talk for a moment about the Senior Services Collaborative. This is facilitated by Aging Together, and it was designed to help community organizations focus and align their efforts to optimize senior services and supports in the area that represents the PATH Foundation footprint. So that is Culpeper, Fauquier, and Rappahannock counties. So through quarterly meetings and work groups, community agencies hear from local experts about housing, transportation, access to food, social isolation, and other issues facing older adults, and then responds with initiatives and solutions. And so the Senior Services Collaborative, with funding from the PATH Foundation, has launched the following initiatives this past year, which we're very excited about. So the Home Care Companion Program was developed in coordination with Department of Social Services and Rappahannock and People Inc., Aging Together, PATH, and it is facilitated by Rapid Home. And it has been a very successful program, and we hope to eventually be able to replicate that in some of our other areas. Fauquier Fish was the host agency in partnership with Fauquier County Department of Social Services, and they received funding for a meal delivery program for isolated older adults that was modeled after their fish programs for children. Aging Together, in partnership with PATH, Rappahannock-Rapidan Community Services, and other partners, created the resource guide, which we just talked about, which is tailored to older adults and their caregivers. And last but not least is the Generation Central, which is located at the Culpeper Baptist Church. And that's another example of how partners work together. This initiative, this steering committee, has been working for about 2 years, and it represents a collaborative effort of Culpeper Baptist Church, Rappahannock-Rapidan Community Services, George Mason University, and Aging Together. And this photo, I recently, I think it was this week, it could have been last week, I'm losing track. We had a tour of the renovations, and that's what you see in this photo, the renovations over at Culpeper Baptist Church for the new intergenerational center that should be opening up in the new year, early in the new year. And you can see Ray Parks and Susie Walters and Sarah Amos there. And Sarah gave us a wonderful tour, and it's just going to be a phenomenal space. And again, it's all of our partners working together to make these kinds of initiatives happen. And we were able to get a little bit of funding for Project Lifesaver, which and the Warrenton Sheriff's Department, and that's that was to help them get the devices that help to track older adults who have wandered and become lost because of dementia. So again, that's the Regional Resource Guide. 5,000 copies were printed, And the guide is also available for viewing or to download on the Aging Together website at agingtogether.org. And we really appreciate all of our partners again who helped us with this, RRCS and PATH and others, and all of those who supported the guide through advertising. So here's the Fauquier team. The teams did not miss a beat since the pandemic. You heard that they continued to meet virtually, and here's a picture of the Fauquier team at one of their meetings. Well, trying to list our partners is overwhelming, and I'm sure this is not a complete list of all of our partners, but this list highlights some of the ongoing work of Aging Together in the community. The Aging Together Board of Directors, for example, serves as the advisory committee for the No Wrong Door program at RRCS, and that's a program that connects older adults to needed services. We know the contributions of older adults in any community is great, and that's what the 5 over 50 celebration is all about. Changing the way we think about older adults, that's what it's all about. Changing the way we think about older adults and highlighting their contributions. And this year, the event returned to May to align with Older Americans Month. We had an overwhelming response, as you saw in the stats earlier, with over 600 viewers on Facebook Live and Culpeper Media Network. And please be sure to save the date for 2022, which is May 19th. And also please consider nominating an outstanding person in your community. And actually nominations, we've made it really easy this year. You can nominate somebody online and just fill out the application right at our website. Congratulations again to the 2021 5 over 50 winners. We are forever grateful to our partners at the Culpeper Media Network, Jonathan and Nicole. We can't thank them enough for all of their support throughout the year. And this is a pie chart that really speaks to Aging Together's revenue. So we rely on foundation and community grants and government support. And as you can see from this pie chart, the majority of our funding at Aging Together does in fact come from the PATH Foundation, for which we are eternally grateful. And we rely on individual and corporate donors in our community as well. And this pie chart with the different organizations listed underneath it here shows you a little bit about where the funds come from and the percentage of the pie. So before I close, and I do see that there are a couple of questions in the chat, and I will get to those in just a minute. But I also wanted to just briefly mention some upcoming dates. Dementia Friends Online, the next session will be January 11th. I believe that's going to be at noon, but you can check our website at agingtogether.org for details. 5 over 50 nominations are due by January 8th, which is just around the corner. So please, please. And then again, May 19th for the 5 over 50 event. We were humbled to be selected as the nonprofit of the year by Culpeper Chamber of Commerce for 2020. And we're very grateful to the Chamber and to Jeff and Amy and the folks over there for all that they do. Thank you again to our county teams for all of your hard work. We have done our best to list our donors and supporters, but please forgive us and let us know if we have inadvertently left you off. We want to know about it. I'm just going to check the chat here and see. Okay, many thanks to our community partners from LIESA, and congratulations on the acknowledgement from Gail. Thanks so much, you guys. And that does conclude our program. We have finished a bit early, so get you back some time in your evening. Want to thank you so much for joining us tonight. But we hope you will continue to stay connected with us throughout the year. And if you have any questions or comments or suggestions, you didn't get a chance to share those in the chat, please do reach out to us anytime. We welcome your feedback, and I can now see all your wonderful faces, which is lovely. Now that I turned off the PowerPoint, I think there's something else in the chat. Thanks, and thank you, Lisa, too. So thank you, everybody, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
It's a pleasure knowing you all, even though I don't live in your county. I love the meetings and usually get some real benefits from each of them.
We love you too, Ginger.
Nobody